my editing here. I'm very upset. I was so pissed off. I was really mad because I trusted the camera too much, and most of the footage, it's just gone out of the SD card. I don't know what happened. I'm still learning the camera, and this video was going to be bomb, you guys, and I still hope that you don't get disappointed. I just wanted to show you of everything, of the purpose of these two products and how it works in different areas. Fortunately, we just have the stove, the bathroom, and some pans and pots. I just feel you get the idea of how the product works and if it's, you know, worth it or not for you. For me, it was just for one thing only, and you'll see in the video. But it's not worth the hype like how people really made it seem on TikTok, if you know what I mean. Let's just get to it, and I'll do the voiceover when we're like watching the video. You guys know at this point how much I struggle with this stove. So therefore I was excited to try the pink stuff and the heavy duty Degreaser by Dawn. I started with the Dawn Degreaser and used a good amount and left it alone overnight, but a little bit can go, you know, a long way. We had to bring the scrub mummy to see what's the hype with this sponge. The first thing I noticed is the smiley face has a purpose. Of course, you can use it for a lot of things around your house. So far, I'm just using it in the kitchen. And to be honest, I have small hands, so it's very slippery and it's just kind of hard to work with. Although my husband loves it because, I mean, he has a normal size hand, I guess. And you can see off the back when it's dry, it's kind of like a little bit stiff, and then you get in the warm water and it gets soft. So I do see like the pros and cons in it, but it's not worth the hype as like people really make it seem on TikTok, since I do see the purpose. I really do, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people love it. But in my preference, I feel like it's like any other sponge. Now, if you have or just love this sponge and you just like, this is the best sponge ever, that is your opinion. My opinion is that it's just not worth the hype how TikTok made it seem. I was expecting a lot more for it, and the one that I was going to get, I ended up getting, and it's the one I liked, which it was the Scrub Daddy. I do see this purpose, you know, and my husband likes it, but me, I just don't know. It's something about it that I'm like, I'm always comparing products to, you know, next to each other, and I'm just like, it's just like a normal sponge. It really is. And I see why people like it, you know, because it has two sides, and the soft side is pretty good to like wipe clean in a way. It's like a scrub with a rag and a sponge together. I don't know if I'm explaining myself right. I was just really expecting to scrub so much, and I didn't have to really do much, but it was just not soaking up the grease in a way. And I also find myself rinsing it constantly. And one thing I actually did appreciate about these sponges, because they have so many similarities, and is that the grease does not get stuck. It is easier for it to take it out, but at the end of the day, when it comes to cleaning, all cleaning products have their pros and cons, you know. So what do you think of this scrub, like specifically this one? Now, I didn't see a difference either using this sponge and the pink stuff. I do see why people use it, because the pink stuff is a paste, and that paste feels like a baking soda cream cleaner, like my favorite one, and you just add some baking soda to it, and it has this texture of like a toothpaste, like the one you and I use to brush our teeth. That's exactly how it feels like, and it leaves so much residue behind. Now, I did find a way for it to work on my stove, which is using both. I end up trying one side with Degreaser and then the other side with the pink stuff, and it didn't do so well, either one by itself. Like, I have to constantly, wiping it down so it can have that shine, and it does tell you in the bottle to do that, so you won't leave grease behind. Now, if you use them both together, you can actually see a difference on my stove. I always struggle on the in the creases of the where the fire comes out. It always a struggle there. So I found that the pink stuff works with that, and then the degreaser works with the rest of the grease that my stove gathers when I cook every time and each time, which is a pain in the butt, because I don't even feel motivated to clean it since I never get it clean, if you know what I mean. So the Dawn Degreaser, it is the bomb, because even after you think you're done wiping down, it's still working on the grease. And if you have nail polish or like gel or something that is not other than your natural nail, you will get stained, which I just wanted to throw it out there, because I normally don't use gloves to clean, but if you do, then you're good to go. Now this one, oh guys, I'm disappointed on myself. Not really the product. The product works, but you have to be careful with this product. It's really, really good, but then it's really bad. As like, if you use too much of it, with over time, you're gonna find some scratches. It takes the the coat that the stove protects, or like the bathroom. If you overuse it, it's gonna turn out gray. You just have to try it for yourself on the stuff that you have around your house. Like, I was afraid to damage anything in here. I rent this house, so I don't want to overdo things, and that's what I was excited about, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna scrub less and have this sparkly clean stove. But if I do use it each time and every time that I clean this stove, eventually it's just not gonna look good at all. So I feel like I'm gonna stick with the heavy duty degreaser and the Sponge Daddy. Now, the Sponge Daddy is not only for the stove, it's great for dishes, you guys. It really is. I have not tried it other way, but here I did see the difference of the Scrub Mummy and the Scrub Daddy. This one you have more control over, and it does suck up more. And the Scrub Mummy, that one just gathers the soap, and it's just so much soap in it that it's kind of like hard to rinse off. And this one is just way easier. I feel like the Dawn soap, it did its job by like losing a little bit of the buildup on these little things. So I end up using the toothbrush, of course, Selma's toothbrush, and surprisingly didn't do much either. I end up just scraping it off with the little scraper knife thing, and I feel like it still did something. The Dawn soap did something, because no matter what I did or used, like, how much I love the Brillo Pads, and it still didn't work either. So it's just so much information, like, you just have to really try it for yourself. At the end of the day, we have different opinions, and it's just crazy to me. I was just expecting a lot more, that's all, and I feel like I disappointed myself for getting my hopes up so much. So here, as you can see, I'm using a microfiber cloth, and it did its job. Just like the pink stuff says, to wipe it after, you know, all the stuff is done. And so does the Dawn degreaser. And my stove has never looked this good before. I tried so many products, and somehow both together combined did its best. Here it was just the side of the Dawn soap, Dawn degreaser, and then the other one, the pink stuff. And then you'll see me here in a little bit mixing them together after I was done cleaning this thingies. If you guys have both of these products, comment down below which way is your favorite way to use it, and where, how much, or where not to use it. I ended up using the pink stuff on the toilet, and it was a bad idea. Now, when it comes to the iron grates, you guys, it had the same effect. It did amazing. The paste and the degreaser, like, it melted everything off. It gave its look back, and I didn't even have to polish it with oil. Now, the Dawn degreaser claims to do some tiles as well, and I feel like it's great for like the tiles in the kitchen, but you don't have to do it the entire, you know, the entire house where you have tile. It's just where it's grease on, and it lifts it up like nothing. So I do appreciate that. That's another plus for me. I feel like so far you can tell which one is my favorite. So I end up comparing them with the pots and pans as well. One with the Dawn degreaser and one with the pink stuff. Now, like I said, I was expecting one with the pink stuff, and it really didn't do much. So I feel like the people on TikTok had to scrub a lot off camera, because it does take some time to take this buildup off, you know. And maybe if you keep up with your pots and pans, you don't have to necessarily do this, but I just wanted to give it a try as its worst to see how good it works. Wow, that rhymed. As you can see, the first pan, the scrub on me didn't do anything. I feel like it did more with the Dawn one. Even though it created a lot of soapy type of thing, it still took off a lot of more grease. Like, you could hardly feel it. Now, it came to my head like, let me take my oldie but goodie Brillo pad. And you guys, the heavy duty degreaser with the Brillo pad, I think that's the key. It's almost like they were meant for each other, you know? either way, whatever product or sponge you use, you always have to use some elbow grease to get some stains or the toughest stuff that you have on your pots or like tiles or anywhere that you know it's a buildup. You always have to use that elbow grease. I just feel like that's just the way to get the stuff out. This was a bad idea. Even though I didn't have to scrub for so long, I missed some spots and I didn't feel like scrubbing more because it was starting to scratch the pot. And if I use a non-scratch type of sponge, it will not get the job done unless it was the Brillo Pads. And you guys know how much I love them. So I feel like I will continue just to use the Brillo Pads instead of, you know, doing the paste by itself. Sometimes I might use it here and there, but like I said, you just always have to use the elbow grease. You have to scrub it so much. Unless you just wash your pots and pans every day and you don't get the buildup, you know? With the paste, you have to make sure to take out the amount you're going to use with a dry cleaning cloth or a sponge, or else you will get this, and it's just weird. I don't know if it does anything other than that, but I do know that if you clean one spot for so long, yeah, it turns it amazing, but you take the coat that protects whatever you're cleaning off. And then you continue to do it and it turns out great, as I was mentioning earlier in the video. I end up doing it the whole rim of it, and it was, like I said, not a good idea. It took the spot off, and it works amazing with the showers, you know, and especially when you have kids and they're always outside. Every time you shower them, you get this line of dirt. So it took that off with no problem, just like the magic eraser would. But like I said, if you overuse it, it's gonna turn out great. Always, you guys, love you so much and I appreciate you watching this video. Unfortunately, I could not get all the footage, as I already mentioned, but I still hope you got the understanding of this cleaning products. I see you and catch you on my next one. Bye.